Sauron, the Dark Lord of the Rings, appeared as a specter of dread and despair, a figure shrouded in darkness and malevolence. His very presence cast a pall over the land, chilling the hearts of all who beheld him. Hello everyone, this is Story Hunter. In the last video, I told you about one of the races that lives in Middle-earth, about the orcs and everything connected with them. You can find a link to this video by following the hint or by following the link in the description. In this video, I will tell you about the Dark Lord who fills all of Middle-earth with fear, Sauron, the most powerful minion of his master. Thank you for your comments, ideas for new videos, likes and subscriptions. This really motivates me to create new videos. In his physical form, Sauron was a towering figure, clad in armor forged in the fires of Mount Doom. His visage was twisted and cruel, his eyes burning with a malevolent light that pierced the soul. His countenance was wreathed in shadow, his features obscured by the darkness that surrounded him. But it was not only his appearance that inspired fear, but also the aura of power that emanated from him like a dark cloud. With but a glance, he could strike terror into the hearts of his enemies, his very presence suffocating hope and extinguishing light. And then there was the One Ring, the source of his power and the symbol of his dominion over all creation. When he bore the ring upon his finger, Sauron's form became even more terrifying, his stature seeming to swell with the sheer weight of his malice. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of Sauron's appearance was the sense of emptiness that surrounded him, as if his soul had been consumed by the darkness that he wielded. There was no trace of mercy or compassion in his gaze, only the cold, unyielding stare of a being consumed by his own ambition. And so it was that Sauron appeared as a figure of terror and despair, a reminder of the darkness that lurks within the hearts of all beings. His form may have been imposing, but it was the darkness that dwelled within him that truly inspired fear, a darkness that threatened to consume all who dared to stand against him. In the quiet corners of Middle-earth, where shadows dance and whispers linger, there exists a tale that chills the bones and steers the soul. It is a story of darkness, of a being whose name strikes fear into the bravest hearts. Listen closely, for I am Story Hunter, and I shall weave for you the tale of Sauron, the Dark Lord of the Rings. Long ago, in the mists of time, when the world was young and the stars still sang, there arose a being of great power and even greater ambition. Sauron, once a Maya of noble origin, fell from grace, consumed by his desire for dominion over all creation. His heart, once filled with light, grew dark and cold as he delved deeper into the forbidden arts of sorcery and deceit. From the depths of his fortress in the accursed land of Mordor, Sauron cast his gaze upon the world, his eye piercing the veil of night like a malevolent flame. With every passing moment, his influence spread, like tendrils of corruption creeping across the land. Under his sway, the peoples of Middle-earth trembled, their hopes dashed against the rocks of despair. But amidst the darkness, there flickered a glimmer of hope, a fellowship of unlikely heroes, bound by friendship and fueled by courage, arose to challenge the might of the Dark Lord. Frodo Baggins, a humble hobbit from the Shire, bore the burden of the One Ring, Sauron's most potent weapon, upon his slender shoulders. Their journey was fraught with peril, as they faced untold dangers and traversed lands haunted by the specter of evil. Yet, through sheer determination and unwavering resolve, they pressed on, their hearts aflame with the hope of a brighter tomorrow. And so it was that the fate of Middle-earth hung in the balance, as Sauron marshaled his forces for a final cataclysmic confrontation. The very earth trembled beneath the weight of his malice, and the sky grew dark as night, shrouding the land in an impenetrable cloak of despair. But in the end, it was not the power of armies or the strength of weapons that sealed Sauron's fate. It was the courage of a single soul, standing alone against the darkness, that proved to be his undoing. Frodo, in the fiery depths of Mount Doom, cast the One Ring into the fires from whence it came, and with it, Sauron's reign of terror was ended. Yet, even in victory, there lingered a sense of sorrow and loss, for the wounds inflicted by Sauron's tyranny ran deep, leaving scars upon the land and the hearts of its people. And though his physical form was vanquished, his legacy endured, a reminder of the ever-present struggle between light and shadow. Long ago, In the mists of time when the world was young and hope danced on the winds, there arose a being of immense power and unfathomable darkness. Sauron, once a noble Maya, was ensnared by the allure of dominion over all that lay before him. His heart, once bright with the light of creation, was consumed by a hunger for control, and he descended into the depths of shadow. From the towering spires of his fortress in the accursed land of Mordor, Sauron cast his gaze upon the world with a chilling intensity. His eye, a symbol of his malevolence, pierced the veil of night, casting a pall of dread over the land. Under his rule, the peoples of Middle-earth suffered, their spirits crushed beneath the weight of his tyranny. But there was a flicker of hope amidst the darkness, a glimmer of light that refused to be extinguished. A fellowship of brave souls, bound by friendship and fueled by courage, rose up to challenge the might of the Dark Lord. Led by the unlikely hero Frodo Baggins, they embarked on a perilous quest to destroy the One Ring, Sauron's most potent weapon. Their journey was fraught with danger and despair as they faced untold trials and tribulations along the way. Yet, through their steadfast resolve and unwavering determination, they pressed on, their hearts aflame with the hope of a better tomorrow. And so it was that the fate of Middle-earth hung in the balance as Sauron marshaled his forces for a final cataclysmic showdown. The very earth trembled beneath the weight of his malice, and the sky grew dark as night, shrouding the land in an impenetrable cloak of fear. But in the end, it was not the power of armies or the strength of weapons that sealed Sauron's fate. It was the courage of a single soul, standing alone against the darkness, that proved to be his undoing. Frodo, in the fiery depths of Mount Doom, cast the One Ring into the fires from whence it came, and with it, Sauron's reign of terror was ended. Yet, even in his defeat, there lingers a sense of sorrow and loss, for the scars of Sauron's tyranny run deep, leaving wounds that may never fully heal. And though his physical form may be vanquished, his legacy endures, a reminder of the ever-present struggle between light and shadow. So ends the story of Sauron, the Dark Lord of the Rings, a tale of sorrow and redemption, of despair and hope. May his name be remembered not as a symbol of fear, but as a testament to the enduring power of courage in the face of adversity. His strength is not merely physical, but a dark and twisted mastery of magic that bends reality to his will. With but a thought, he commands legions of foul creatures, twisting them to his dark purpose. His sorcery is a force of devastation, capable of laying waste to entire armies and shattering the will of even the bravest souls. But it is not only his mastery of the arcane arts that make his Sauron so formidable. Clad in armor forged in the fires of Mount Doom, he is nigh invulnerable to mortal weapons, his dark visage striking terror into the hearts of all who behold him. He wields a mace of black iron, its cruel spikes dripping with the blood of countless victims, a grim reminder of the price of defiance. Yet perhaps his greatest strength lies in the One Ring, a relic of ancient days imbued with his very essence. With the ring in his possession, Sauron becomes nigh unstoppable, his power magnified to unimaginable levels. It is a weapon of untold destruction, capable of bending the wills of men and elves alike to his dark bidding. But for all his strength and power, Sauron is not without his weaknesses. His pride and arrogance blind him to the true nature of his enemies, leading him to underestimate the resilience of those who stand against him. It is this fatal flaw that ultimately proves to be his undoing, as a humble hobbit named Frodo Baggins defies the odds and casts the ring into the fires of Mount Doom, bringing an end to Sauron's reign of terror. And so it is that the strength and abilities of Sauron, though vast and terrible, are ultimately undone by the power of courage and the indomitable spirit of those who refuse to yield to the darkness. May his name be remembered not as a symbol of fear, but as a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the triumph of hope in the face of despair. After the echoes of battle had faded and the dust settled upon the ravaged fields of Middle-earth, there came a moment of both relief and sorrow. For in the fires of Mount Doom, where the One Ring was unmade, the dark reign of Sauron came to its tumultuous end. In the aftermath of the war, there was a sense of both mourning and liberation. The peoples of Middle-earth, weary from years of strife and suffering, dared to hope for a brighter tomorrow. Yet amidst the celebrations and the joyous reunions, there lingered a solemn understanding of the sacrifices that had been made. As for Sauron himself, his fate was sealed with the destruction of the One Ring. Stripped of his power and his form, he was vanquished, his essence scattered to the winds like ashes upon the breeze. The Dark Lord, once so mighty and feared, was reduced to naught but a memory, a cautionary tale whispered in the shadows. But though Sauron was gone, his legacy endured. The scars of his tyranny ran deep, leaving wounds that would take generations to heal. And though the peoples of Middle-earth had emerged victorious, they knew that the shadow of Sauron would always loom over their world, a reminder of the ever-present struggle between light and darkness. Yet, amidst the lingering sorrow, there was also hope. For in the hearts of the brave souls who had stood against Sauron, there burned a flame of courage that could never be extinguished. And though the road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, they knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any darkness that threatened to engulf their world. And so it was that the end of the war marked not only the defeat of Sauron, but also the beginning of a new era for Middle-earth. Though the wounds of the past would never fully heal, the peoples of the land looked to the future with renewed determination, knowing that so long as they held fast to hope, the darkness could never truly triumph.